I need to call it. What's up, good people of Earth? Thank you very much for clicking this video. You are indeed a lovely soul. You see here, we are all about love, peace, forgiveness, and unity. And with your help, lovely soul, we can spread it to the whole world. Kindly watch till the end. Hit the like button and leave some comments. Straight out of Africa with good vibes. Lots of good vibes. Tell us where you're watching from. And let's dive in. Big up if it's your first time. Welcome.
We are in the jungle and this is what a real banana looks like. Look at this. These are wild bananas. Look how tiny they are. Like a finger. You see? Smaller than my finger. But the most exciting thing about wild bananas is this. They are full of seeds. Not at all like your regular banana. Can you hear the crunch? The seeds are very crunchy, but it makes the flavor a little bit bitter. So you kind of don't want to crunch them, right? Look, full of seeds. These are wild bananas. This is what a real banana looks like.
This is what a real bell pepper looks like.
Y'all seen that video of the water being trapped in the bottom? I have not got over that. And look. So I'm gonna free it. And the seal was not even broken, so there's no way it was gonna evaporate. That is crazy. The water, in the history of Earth, we have never lost water. That water would have been lost. That's crazy.
Oh, is there a such thing like that? What people think angels look like? Lovely with wings and humans. But this is how Ezekiel describes them. Oh my god! Like circular objects with lots of eyes and oh man, this is amazing. What do you think angels really look like? Please, from where you come from, I'd like you to share and tell us about how you think angels look like. That's wonderful, man.
If I could choose one weapon in a long-term survival situation, it would be the rabbit stick. This is a projectile weapon, much like a boomerang. This weapon is designed to glide in a straight line, incredible distances, and it might look harmless in flight, but it has bone-shattering power behind it. To start off, the bottom of a rabbit stick has to be as flat as you can make it. Regardless of the kind of wood you carve it from, you want it to be a curved branch. An elbow like this will be perfect. The technology for this is over 20,000 years old. In fact, there's examples of these carved from mammoth ivory using stone tools. Here I have silver maple. Silver maple is a semi-hard wood of moderate density. Now we're going to carve the top flat and leave it about a ½ inch thick. Most of my finer work will be done with the Sage Smoke Survival Bushcraft knife. This is feeling good. Got some good weight to it. Let's carve the airfoil now. I mostly just want the edges to be rounded, with more rounding done to the top. Just use your knife to shave it down. Now our rabbit stick is finished. Let's see how it flies. It flies.
Oh, wonderful, man. Why would you make that? And in some places, some good vibes giraffe was chilling with their mom, and wow, this is nice, man. They are sharing love. You see these giraffes, you see them from this side of the world, and they are full of good vibes. They just walk, don't disturb anyone. You see? They eat from the top.
Here's how to actually be present. This is a life-changing TikTok. You need to tap in right now. It's really, really hard to be present. I'm going to give you the entire roadmap. This shit is going to transform your relationships. You're going to be way more calm. You're going to have the right thing to say. You're not going to be as reactive, and you're going to be fully there for your life. So there's two core principles to this. One is the feelings in your body, and the second is tomorrowism. Tomorrowism is super fucking important also. You need to learn about that. But so basically the feelings in your body. So there's two modes of being. There's either in your body or in your mind. In the mind, we're either living in the past or we're living in the future, and we're reacting to what's happening. So it's like, as things happen externally, your mind will create a script about what that means. You'll be walking around looking at people. You'll be like, oh, that person's ugly. Oh, wow, person in a wheelchair. Oh, that, like, just all the fucked up things that aren't you, but it's your thoughts. That's in the mind. Basically, think of like who you are on the inside as this pure golden child. Like, you came out of the womb so innocent, so pure and enlightened. And then imagine like a layer of dirt that gets pegged onto that. Every time we're living in the mind and not living in the moment, that dirt starts to glom on, which is why you see adults that have no soul, no purpose in life, like just walk around like literal zombies, because they've had so much dirt packed on, they can't even like really look forward to life anymore. So then there's living in the body. And the way you live in the body is you become aware in this moment of the physical sensations in your body. So there's like a very subtle energy field that's going on in the body any given time, like slight vibrations. Right now I can feel it in my gut, can feel it kind of in my hands as I hold this. Notice what's going on in your body right now. That is being present. And when you're fully present and you're in the body like that, the dirt that got packed on starts to come up. So you might notice the first couple days you do this, or if you sit and meditate, you'll cry for no reason. Or you'll have some kind of crazy outburst, or you'll sleep way more than you used to. That is a really good thing. That is the dirt coming out. So the more you live in your body and the more you just focus on that, on being literally in this moment, and the less you live in narration mode, that dirt's gonna start to peel back. And like what a monk is really someone who's dedicated their life to clearing out that dirt. And that's enlightenment. When you get back to the pure, clean slate that we were born with. That's really fucking hard. The best way to live in your body more and more is to take 5 minutes in the morning and 5 minutes at night to just sit. And also this is, let me remind you, because we're 2 minutes in, if you made it this far, you're a fucking champ. This is really valuable. Like this is either you're always living the moment or you're never living in the moment. And this is going to help you actually be you and not live with anxious thoughts, depression, like anything, but just being here now. So in the morning, we're going to just be in the body for 5 minutes and really focus on the sensations and the energy in the body. Before bed, the same thing. And then throughout the day, you just try to catch yourself. And when those motions come up, instead of be very hyper aware of when dirt's getting packed down, when you're about to stifle something. And we just go back to that awareness and the dirt will start to peel back. The second thing is tomorrowism. Catch yourself anytime you start to think, oh, I'm going to do this later. So it's like, oh, like I really should start exercising. I'll do that one day. Every time we do that, we're flexing the 1 day muscle. This is the tomorrowism I was talking about. Every time you think like, oh, I'm gonna start doing this, or time is a psychological fallacy. It's either today muscle or never muscle. Those are the only two muscles we have. Later muscle means never, because tomorrow, then the later muscle gets stronger and we're just kicking the can down the road forever. Who you are right now in this moment, today, like this is the only moment you have. So it's be hyper aware of the energy in your own body, and then it's fuck tomorrowism. Like get good at flexing the today muscle. You can do those two things. You will start to become crazy present. People will notice it on you. You're just going to have the right thing to say. You're not going to care about this petty bullshit that you used to really give a fuck about. You're going to get better and better at being you. More people are going to want to be around you. Like literally your vibration's just going to transcend, ascend, descend. No, the other one. I'm rooting for you. If you made it this far, comment pineapple below, just so I'll know that you're like a real fucking homie. And you got this.
Much love to everybody, man. You are loved and respected. Huh?
Who are you? What, bud? Hi. Oh, you're a pretty kitty. Look at you, bud. Hi. How are you? What a talkative kitty. Look how pretty you are. What are you, a Bengal? What are you doing? What? Oh, you're so cute. Where do you belong, bud? Oh, kitty. Hi. That's my hand. You're so pretty. You're so pretty. Oh my goodness. What are you doing? What are you doing? Ouch. Ouch.
Oh, that's a very friendly cat.
The Great Awakening is in full swing, my friends. And for those of us who have the eyes to see and discern frequency, it is very easy to tell what side of Earth you are on. Are you in old Earth or are you in new Earth? And this is something my guides just channeled through me. And this is the analogy I was shown. Last New Year's Eve, we threw a House of Ra New Earth Music Festival, one of the highest frequencies Earth has ever seen. There was a few people that night that got triggered by us and did not show up to the New Earth Music Festival. And guess what? That night on New Year's Eve, we had a container, a sacred container that went so high. We were dancing with the angels, with the spirit guides, with the masters, with the dolphins were present, the Pleiadians. It was just such a high frequency container. And we checked in, we put a Facebook social media post that said New Earth Music Festival. And that same night, the people who got triggered by us and who didn't come, who projected on us and who made up all kinds of stories about us because their egos prevented them from attending one of the highest frequency activation events yet. Why? Because the ego always wants to prevent you from your ascension. The ego always wants to keep you locked in your stories and say they are bad people or they are wrong and don't go. That is your ego keeping you stuck. And guess what? They didn't come to the party. And that night they checked in from Old Town Dubrovnik, literally. And the guide said, you see the difference? New Earth Music Festival, all of your crowd's gonna go higher and higher and ascend versus Old Town Dubrovnik. They literally chose an older version of Earth. And that's how you keep jumping timelines. This is how the universe constantly presents timelines to you, and you're constantly timeline jumping. You're either jumping up or you're jumping down, but you are choosing which timeline you're choosing based on whether you're attaching to your egoic stories, your trauma stories, or the invitation of your higher self. So choose wisely, because right now there are two versions of Earth. What version of Earth are you on? Comment below and let me know.
Please be good people there. Of the vibrations of love,
These
sending
Egyptian
love.
gods never existed. They symbolize the sun in its 4 different states. Horus represents the sun when it's rising in the spring or 6 a.m. in the morning. This is why we say horizon. Horus is rising. Horus is the sun. This is why we say hours. Where is Horus? What hour is it? Ra is the sun when it's the most powerful, 12 noon or the summertime. Ra, radiate, powerful. This is why he has a sun on top of his head, the most high sun. Set, September. This is when the sun starts to set and become autumn. This is why we say sunset, comes from the Egyptian god Set, the sun. Horus and Set is Jesus and Satan, which is the sun and Saturn. The sun rules the day, Saturn rules the winter or nighttime. The sun's evil brother is Saturn, because Saturn is always opposite the sun. This is why Saturn is Satan, because Saturn rules the nighttime, which is associated with darkness, death, evil. Jesus symbolizes the sun. This is why he's called the risen savior, the light of the world. Has 12 disciples, the 12 zodiac signs. 4 gospels for the 4 seasons.
It's not a church. It's a piece to a bigger assembly that was destroyed. Or so. What is that? That is creepy, man. Looks like
I
someone
was
sat
today years
there.
old when I figured this out.
Did you know that when you delete your search history, it doesn't actually delete all of your data? Watch this. I just deleted my history and it looks like everything's gone. But if you search up this website, you'll still be able to see all your search history. You just have to scroll down and everything's still right there. To fully delete everything, click on delete right here and filter by all time, and boom, your search history is actually deleted for good now.
Oh, nice, man.
What you're seeing now is a scene of a cargo ship being attacked by pirates in the waters near the Gulf of Aden.
Bantay, sir! Bantay! Sige, sige lang. Kita makita, sir.
Upon noticing the pirates, the captain ordered full speed ahead to prevent the pirates from boarding the cargo ship.
Sige lang, sir. Action lang to, sir.
Master. Hello.
This is very scary.
Hardport, ha?
Hardport. Kuy, puga.
Pangipit sila.
Nakadikit na ba?
Natawag, boss.
Oo, hindi sibat. Wala, bakakuan.
O, midship ulit, midship.
The pirates' small boat approached the cargo ship with an attempt to board, but due to the ship's high speed, they seemed to have failed.
Segundo. Call channel 16. Call channel 16. This is Maria E. Just
Oh, has that ever happened to you? Please leave some
If
comment.
you can't even decent to your mom, what make you think that you can decent?
So I started decentering my mom at 12 or 13 years old, and right now we're no contact. Over the last couple years, we've spoken a handful of times. But I know a lot of people can't really fathom not talking to their parents and going no contact. But let me tell you just a few of the things that my mom has done over the years that has led us to where we are at today. So I went to a music school in elementary school. So they would start us off kind of like doing the basic instruments like the recorder and the xylophone and things like that. And as we would get older and move up in grade level, we would be assigned, or not be assigned, but you would get to choose an instrument that you want to keep and practice and become proficient at by the time you graduate 5th grade. So my mom has always been a huge fan of the piano. She's always wished that she could be like an amazing piano player. My eldest brother plays piano pretty well, and he's even tried to teach my mom several times, and it just never takes. Like, she just can't learn it. And that's not like a diss at her. It's just some people just can't learn music. So she has always wished that she could be really good at piano. And when she eventually gave up on piano, she of course tried to push that dream onto me, as a lot of parents do. When they fail at something or they don't accomplish something, they want their children to do it. And it seemingly comes from a good place, but you're also like crushing your child's dream and not listening to your child when they tell you that's not their dream, that's not their goal. So she was like, you should choose piano, you should choose piano. I'm like, I don't want to play the piano. At this point, I had already been playing the clarinet for about a year. So I was getting pretty good at the clarinet. I was starting to be able to read music and just kind of finding my footing in music. But I 1000% knew I did not want to play the piano. So I remember one day, my parents sat me down. It was mostly my mom talking because my dad just kind of goes with whatever she says. But they sat me down and she was like, we're taking you out of clarinet lessons. And I just, like, my heart sank because I just knew, I had a feeling it was coming, because she was so gung-ho about me playing the piano. So she was like, we're taking you out. There's nothing you can do about it. And I just was crying. I was like, please don't take me out of clarinet. I've already been in for a year. Like, this makes no sense. So the school year starts, and one day my mom comes to the school and she lies to the principal and my clarinet teacher and tells them that I have asthma and that I can't play the clarinet anymore. So they basically took me out because of that. Because usually once you choose an instrument, there's no getting out of it really. So they had to come up with some medical excuse for me to not be able to play. That's also not the first time she's tried to lie to one of my teachers or one of my coaches about a medical condition just to get me not to do something that she didn't like. Y'all, she was so obsessed with piano, it was actually crazy. I remember late middle school, probably early high school, I started getting pretty serious into sports, and I was on club teams and things like that. And, you know, you would have the club fees that would come up. And I remember one of the fees came up, it was about $150 or so. And my mom absolutely refused to pay. She was just like, I don't care about that sport. I don't want you to play in the first place. Like, why would I pay for it? So it was around tax return season when these fees came up. And when she got her tax returns, she bought an electric piano, like one of those that you can plug in, but those still run at least they're around $1,500 or so. And she bought one of those. And nobody in my home played piano. She didn't know how to play. Like, it just sat there for years. It's still there at their house. So it's just like the priorities, it was crazy. And this video is way too long now, so I'm gonna have to make another one with the other things that she has done.
What do you think about such situations?
I was today years old when I figured this out. Did you know if you're at a gas station and you don't want to go inside to set a prepaid amount, you can just hit the enter key right here and it'll let you pick a prepaid amount. I'm going to pick $10, and now you just press enter and it'll fill up your car with exactly $10 worth of gas.
Ah, oh, that's interesting. Oh, huh. Things I need. I wish I knew a first time dad. As a first time dad. Oh, what's this? Oh, let's see. This is interesting. You see, it can also help other people like me that you maybe that are not dads. You see, this is an interesting hack.
Wow, you're drawing fake hair on your head. Wow, this is really art. Look at the shine. Wow. Maybe you can learn me to do that. This
Wow.
is really beautiful.
The bird test theory is basically a predictor for whether or not your relationship is going to succeed, and it kind of goes like this. Let's say that you and your partner are sitting at a coffee shop and you see a bird outside and you mention it to them. There's a couple different ways that your partner can respond. Your partner could be like, oh, that's a really cool bird, and engage with you and take interest in what you just said. Or your partner can dismiss it altogether and be like, okay, it's a bird. What about it? Basically, the Gottman Institute, which is this really big psychology institute for relationships, calls that a bid. And the idea is if your partner takes interest in the mundane, little small things that you talk about, the relationship is just more likely to succeed because your partner has genuine interest in whatever you say, regardless of whether that thing is a small thing or not. On the flip side, if your partner kind of keeps ignoring your bids, that's kind of a sign that the relationship is going to fail because whether small or big, your partner is not giving attention to the things that you personally care about just for the sole reason that you care about it.
Do this if you need to manifest something really freaking fast. I'm talking like emergency fast. If you're new here, hey guys, I'm V. I'm a energetics coach that teaches manifestation, what manifestation actually is, and how to actually implement it in your life regardless of your belief system. Okay, so make sure you're following me for more. I also do a lot of traveling around the world and fitness stuff over on my Instagram, so go check it out. It's my personal Instagram, and I have long form content on my YouTube. So you need something to be manifested like ASAP. Like you cannot wait for this. This is like an emergency manifestation. Do this. It will work. There's no doubt in the universe that this won't work. The only requirement is determination. You do not take no for an answer when you do this method. Like this is one of the methods I use when I am mad, and it always works, but I can only do it when I'm really angry, and I do not take no for an answer. And when I say you don't take no for an answer, this isn't the external we're talking about. Everything is internal. I'm talking about you do not take no for an answer with your mind. Your mind is saying, oh, it's going to be this way. Oh, I can't get this thing. Or, oh, it has to be this way. And you say, no, the fuck it's not. It is going to happen this way. And you do not waver your thought. This method is very powerful, especially when you have a lot of emotion and you do not waver. You say, this is how the fuck it's going to be. Period. This is why I'm saying this is like an emergency manifestation where you do not take no for an answer. Yeah, you can use it for day-to-day things, but you really need to have an oomph behind it. Like, nope. This is how the fuck it's going to be. And it is literally that simple of stating in your mind or out loud of how something is going to happen. You don't let your thoughts say otherwise. And I'll give you 2 examples that happened yesterday actually. So basically I live in different countries, and right now I'm in a country where it's extremely busy because it's a really touristy destination, and for the past like 4 days I have not been able to get a ride anywhere because it's been so busy. And yesterday I was just fed up. I even tried, I was like, I'm gonna get a ride. I did like my regular affirming, and then I was like, I just gave up. This is the difference between not succeeding and succeeding with manifestation. Yesterday, I was really pissed off, and I said, I'm getting a fucking ride right now, and I'm not waiting. And it even said, like, no rides available. And I yelled at the universe in my head, I'm not fucking walking again, because it was like an hour walk. I'm not fucking walking. I'm getting a fucking ride right the fuck now. And I said it with so much anger and pissed off, like, I'm fucking getting a ride. And you guys, within 2 minutes, I got a ride. And I have not gotten a ride within like 4 fucking days. Excuse my language, but literally, it's been crazy. It's so crazy where I am right now. Like 4 days, no ride. As soon as I just put 10,000% determination and I'm not fucking changing my mind, got a ride. Also, I didn't have a place to stay because all the hotels were booked up because it's for the holidays, Christmas and New Year's. Like, where I am is probably one of the most craziest touristy destinations to go to for the holidays, and literally everything was booked up. And I was wavering for a few days, so I stayed with a friend, and then last night I was like, I'm getting a place at 11 at night, and everywhere said, oh, it's too late, it's already all booked up anyways. You can't get a place, you can't check in at 11 p.m. at night. I decided, fuck that, I'm getting the perfect place at 11 p.m. I contacted 10 hotels at night. Like, everywhere was already booked up, but the places that were available, the only places that were available would not take me in. And then I was fed up and I was like, you know what, I want this place, this specific place. I picked it. They already, like, they didn't respond or anything. And I said, I'm fucking staying here. I'm fucking staying here. I'm going here tonight. I'm going here tonight. I don't give a fuck. I am staying here tonight. So I just packed up my stuff to go over there, and oh, bing, yeah, it's available. You can stay here tonight. This place, I could not stay here days before, and they were booked up. But I set my mind as I'm fucking staying here tonight. I'm not taking no for an answer. And oh, it was available at 11 p.m. at night. Yeah, that's what happens when you say, this is what the fuck I want, and this is what the fuck I'm gonna get, and I'm not taking no for an answer. That is the I'm gonna fucking get what I want method. But this is what I mean. You need to have, this is a great method to use when you need an emergency manifestation and you have a lot of anger and emotion. You put it into your manifestation and shit happens like that. Okay, so make sure you follow me for more. And if you want to work one-on-one with me, link is in the bio. Okay, much love. Just go through all my content. It is all free on TikTok and YouTube, and it explains everything. I love you so much. You can do it. Mwah.
How to get to 5D consciousness. It's actually a lot more practical than you think, and I'm going to break it down for you. First and foremost, being in 5D consciousness does not mean you're holier than thou or that you're better than everybody else. What is 5D? It means fifth dimensional. So we are fourth dimensional creatures. We perceive in the 3D, but we are fourth dimensional. So if you access fifth dimensional consciousness, all that means is that you have a broader perspective, right? You can see more angles into things. But that doesn't mean other people don't have that potential either. So 5D consciousness people, get off your high horse. But here's how anyone can access 5D consciousness. We have a chakra system, right? And our heart chakra is at our center. Your heart chakra connects your chakras above and your chakras below. So this is literally the focal point or the neutral singularity point of your essence, your being. You need to have a balanced chakra system so it can align at the heart, and that is how you access your 5D consciousness. There is a reason why the anagram for Earth is heart. And we are living in a green and blue planet, and your heart chakra is green, the trees are green. There's also a reason why the Egyptian pharaoh, when he passes away into the afterlife, he gets greeted by Anubis, and Anubis weighs his heart on a scale with a feather. There's so many teachings about the heart. The heart is how you ascend spiritually. This is how you will get 5D consciousness. This is how you will broaden your perspective on things. When your chakras are misaligned and you're not connected to your heart, or you're not at neutral point, you essentially just get a more warped perception of reality. Let's say you have a very, very imbalanced sacral or root chakra, which most people do have. It's like one of the most popular, common human traumas. When those chakras are imbalanced, you become very fearful. You're not tapped into your intuition. You are codependent. And that creates an obscurity in your perception of things. You will start to attract in things that are constantly going to get you more wounding. This is why it's important to work on your heart chakra. Now, how do you work on your heart chakra? You detach. Remember, your heart has to be as light as a feather. That means your heart cannot be heavy. It cannot be heavy with lust, pride, greed, a faulty sense of self, which is a bad ego. All of these 7 sins or human vices need to be worked on. And I'm not saying that you should live like a Buddhist monk or a holy saint for the rest of your life. Because let's be honest here, we're human, we also have primal needs. But what you don't want to do is overindulge. The difference between animals and human, even though we're animals, is that animals do things in need for the most part. Humans, at this point, we don't do things in need. We do things through lust and desire and want. And that creates an imbalance in our chakras. This is how it creates traumas. Like, think about it this way. If you are overly indulgent, you will literally screw your whole life away through that imbalance and through that addiction. You can also ascend to 5D consciousness through DNA activation. My book talks about things I can't say here on TikTok because I'll get banned. But your DNA activation, in a more summarized way, is you not repeating the same patterns that your ancestors did. So you, epigenetically, sort of, this is not very scientific, because we're talking about spiritual stuff, but just bear with me. Epigenetically speaking, you will change the course of the fate of your family line. And the next generation you give birth to are not going to repeat the same patterns that you or your family did. You also can activate DNA through staying away from bad frequencies. And by bad frequencies, I mean too much city life, technology. Get out in nature more. This will help you activate your DNA. Eat healthier. And through these two things, which is balancing your heart chakra, balancing all of your chakras, and DNA activation, you will slowly start to see you get into 5D consciousness. Now, if you want to know what 5D consciousness feels like, I have a video on my page talking about how it feels like to be in 5D consciousness. But yes, you guys, it's obtainable. This is not that strange. Anybody can get there. So stop it with the holier than thou videos that I'm seeing everywhere.
I say this all the time. Men don't listen. That's the reason why the military handles them the way that you follow commands. And so people will say, well, how they follow commands if they don't listen? Sir, that means you don't know what it means to listen. Listen means to hush your mouth, shut your mouth, okay? And take in the information, think about it, and respond appropriately. Men do not listen. They follow commands. Well, how do you follow commands without listening? You follow commands by breaking down the body and training the body to respond to stimuli. So in the military, they don't talk to you and make you listen. They scream and holler at you, and in the midst of them screaming and hollering at you to tell you to go here, go there, because a command is short. Listening requires that you sit there and listen to a bunch of words and blah. Commands are very short. Go here, do this, do that, drop and give me 20. Those are commands. And how do you train a person to follow those commands at the respond of a snap? Is real simple. You put their body through something physical so that it can associate it with the command or the action that you just made them do. And this is how you train men. Men follow commands, they don't listen.
Do you think that is true? Please share your thoughts. These images of what? UFO. Oh my god, this is creepy. What's happening here? This is really creepy. Who took these photos? Oh my god. Do you think this is real or it was made somewhere? Because who do you think took these photos or this video? Some satellite or something like that? Oh, this is creepy. This place, where is this place? Huh.
No, a ver, no, con la boca. No. Otro poquito. Lavarlos bien sus dientes. Sí, le gusta que le laven los dientes. Sí, ya se están limpiando los dientes. Págalos. Qué bonita sonrisa, ¿ves? A ver, una sonrisa para la gente. ¿No?
That's amazing, man.
Can we go for a normal walk? Come on, can we go for a walk?
Why is it refusing?
Do you want your ball? This is what you want. Now we can go.
Huh. Oh, this is interesting, man. Look at this door. It looks very beautiful and wow. It just looks interesting, man. Look at how it's sleeping, innocent, full of love. Oh, this is good vibes. Much love to you guys for watching up to this far, man. Hit the like button and spread love from wherever you are. And caring and peace, unity, good vibes. And some puppy raps going down the slide with the kids. This is interesting. These animals are very wise, man. Huh? Oh my god. Wow, this dog was waiting for somebody to play with it. This is nice, man. You see? This is interesting. Hmm. Sometimes the person need this
There
love.
is a lot of disingenuous people practicing spirituality. Number one, spirituality can't be taught. It's between you and your higher nature. Nobody can teach you that. People can give you principles, but nobody can go within your subconscious and teach you what to do. Number two, there is a lot of people thinking that they are practicing it by just thinking and not meditating deep enough, because they are literally just picking and choosing what they want to hear, not accepting all of it, the good and the bad, the ugly and the beauty of it. They're just literally picking. They're like, yeah, that's what I'm like, wow. You cannot be picking and choosing. You're literally meant to embrace all of it that comes. As they come, you take it on, and then you get to the lights. That's what I was saying. The darkness is very important, because you cannot have the light without going through what you need to go through, right? Even from your mother's womb, you're in the darkness for how long? Everything stems from that, you know? So we've got to switch it up. People are literally picking and choosing. Spirituality, you can't pick and choose. You got to welcome all of it, because you can't only pick one aspect of you, right? So go deeper, because you will never regret it, not in the slightest.
Some football team called Zenit walked to the field with dogs from local shelters to raise the awareness for adoption. This is nice, man. This is incredible. They're spreading love, and this is nice.
Attract toxic people? Well, let me tell you why. You're probably a healer, because healers attract people that need to be healed. Or you're probably somebody that's a good person and is grounded and really is uplifting, and everybody likes to be around you. Well, you're a target for a toxic person, because they go, ooh, I can get energy from them. So a good person has a good, strong energy field. It's grounded, it's smooth, it's a haven for people. A toxic person has a very energy field, has holes and gaps in their energy field. And they look at you and go, whoa, feeding station, recharge. And so they come to you and go, yeah, I'm going to tack into them. So they come to you and they start putting the moves on you and all that good stuff. And then after a while you go, whoa, this person's toxic. I feel drained after I've been around them. They sure are cute. But, oh, God, I feel drained. Why do I not feel good after I've been around that person? Here's why. They're tapping their little wires into your energy field and sucking out your energy, because that way they don't have to evolve. They don't have to be accountable. They don't have to be responsible. They can just pretend they're cute, and you go, oh, let me help you. And they come with those barbs, pop you up, and guess what? You're the loser. You walk away drained, and they're going, yep, got another one. And the toxic person just moves on to the next target. So here's what you do. You say, I ask, and it is my intent to remove you from my energy field now, forevermore, and always. God bless your journey. It's not mine. Next. And those folks will eventually fade away. So don't let a toxic person come in and like plug themselves into you so that you're a loser. Be grateful you have a beautiful energy field. You came here to spread joy and light. Don't let that toxic person be a sacrifice on you. Remember, I ask, and it is my intent to remove you and delete you from my energy field now, forevermore, and always. So be it. It is done. Bye, bye, bye.
Do you think that is true?
Because you have untethered yourself or unhooked yourself from your past, you've stopped believing those stories you were telling about yourself. You've stopped ruminating on things that have happened. You've stopped judging yourself for your past choices and mistakes. You're not holding a grudge on people anymore. You're working on protecting your energy and loving yourself. Because you're doing all that, you are no longer hooked up to your past. Your past is no longer controlling you. Because whatever we're hooked up to, whatever we're attaching ourselves to, controls us. Okay? It's like Ratatouille, where he sits on the guy's head and he's making him cook. That's what we look like when we are allowing other things to attach themselves to us. But that's not the point of this video. The point is, because you're not allowing those things to control you anymore, you have a much clearer view of the future, and you're also able to be much more present than you ever have. So because of that, your senses are becoming heightened. Your feelings and emotions are more intense. Your relationships are more open, more understanding, closer, because you don't have this rat sitting on your head controlling your every move, which was your past, which was you stuck on your things that have happened in the past, your trauma, your drama, and so on and so forth. Because you've let that rat go, it's funny that I'm using this as a example. You can now live freely. You can now do what you need to do without somebody else dictating your every move, which somebody else was just you in the past, which is you as a child maybe. Why would you let a child dictate what you're doing right now? But you already know this. You've already dropped all that. So because of that, your current vision is much clearer than it has ever been. You're able to make decisions that maybe they don't feel right in the moment. Maybe you're still questioning yourself, but the decisions that you're making and the choices that you're making now are much more clear, and they're coming from a heightened state of intuition. They're coming from a higher state because they're not coming from the past. They're coming from a future version of you. And the future version of you already knows what you're going to be achieving, what you're going to be doing. The past version of you only knows the mistakes you've made. The future version of you knows what's coming. And you have now hooked yourself up to that version of you. The old you is over.
Is that true?